Hi. If you've been wondering about yoga as a spiritual path, um, keep listening. I started yoga from a physical perspective, really. Purely, I was in pain. My acupuncturist, who was also a yoga teacher, and so much more, she transformed my life, told me to start yoga, and that would help with my physical pain. It would strengthen my core, which was causing the back pain issues and the inflammation issues and the period pain and all other kinds of things that were happening in my body at the time. And it not only worked at a physical level, but it then started hitting my mental and my emotional levels. And yoga, as you dive deeper into the philosophy that supports the physical asana, yoga teaches you that we're not just working on the physical body, we're working on all layers of our being: the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the bliss body. And we're connecting to a bigger vision of who we are. And ultimately, the practice isn't about doing the splits or a handstand, but yes, I can do those and I love doing those. It's about becoming more compassionate. It's about becoming kinder. It's about becoming more forgiving. And you know that you've lived a good life when you can look back on your life and say, I became kinder and compassionate and forgiving. And this is the path that will take you on that journey. And I know in modern world, we're so masculinized, we're so materialized. Everyone's like, success is something outside of us. Success is owning the home, having the car, wearing the nice outfit, all of that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with any of that because I've got all of it, right? Uh, but success, when we measure it on those external factors, on the material, well, just look around. How many people do you know are completely miserable? Like, I remember going on a date with a really wonderful man, and he sat there and he's had everything. He was very wealthy, and he's like, I'm miserable. And I look out in the world, and people are miserable. They're not happy and they're not thriving, they're surviving. And yoga as a spiritual path is not about survival. It's about thriving. It's about liberating you from the 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 mundane of life so that you can see the extraordinary of life. We learn to see the extraordinary in the ordinary through this practice of yoga. Through when we step onto it as more than just a physical asana practice, but we step into it as a spiritual path. And this is why we are offering our yoga as a spiritual path level 1 immersion and teacher training. You don't need to be someone who wants to teach yoga. You just can be someone who wants to embark on this journey of introspection, of knowing that the work that you do inside of yourself will change the way that you see the world, but also change the world around you. And I know that from firsthand experience, the person I used to be and the life that I used to live and the person that I am today and the life that I live today, it's like two different lifetimes, because yoga teaches us to that who we really are is bliss and joy and peace and love and kindness and compassion. And you know that you've lived a good life when you can turn around and say, I'm kinder now, I'm more compassionate, I'm forgiving, I'm loving. Um, and yoga points us in that direction. It's not pointing us in the pettiness of human judgment and criticism and fear and anxiety and worry, and all of that is part of being human, and it's not bad. And I feel all of those emotions all of the time, but there's a baseline, which is joy, is bliss, is peace, is kindness, is loving, and there's a willingness to see things differently when I can't see the beauty in the moment, or I can't see the goodness. And that is the practice, right? We come to the mats and we move our physical bodies, and when we're moving our physical bodies, we're moving energy, we're forcing life force through our bodies. And then it's in our bodies that we store the memories of our past, we store the memories of our ancestors. And the physical asana and the pranayama, the physical practice of breathing, forces the energy through our body so that it can sweep clean the energy channels, and we can feel more alive. We can feel more vibrant, and we can live more fully in the moment. And we learn all of that as we embark on this level 1 yoga as a spiritual path immersion and teacher training. You can be someone who just wants to immerse yourself in the spiritual practices, and you can be someone who wants to teach and guide other people. But you have to do the practices. You have to learn how to do the practices, and you need teachers who have done the practices for many, many, many years to guide you on your way, because that is the path of yoga. That is the spiritual path of yoga, is having a teacher guide you. It's an oral tradition. We take in our teacher's knowledge, and they share it with us, and we bring it into our own lived experience, and we practice the knowledge, and we make it our own, and then we share it. And it's a passing on from soul to soul to soul to soul, so that we can all elevate, or levitate, become more radiant and lighter. This journey of enlightenment isn't a journey of literally, becoming light, but it's a journey of becoming lighter. The qualities, the 3 gunas, rajas, tamas, and sattva. The quality of sattva is light, it's pure, and that's what we are all aiming for when we practice yoga. Some of you come just so that you can get nice triceps and biceps and work your abs, but then something hooks you. And what hooks you are, what my students say, are my stories. The philosophy that I share, that I weave through the practice, that you feel in your body. And this is one of the beauties of the Anusara technique and tradition and method that yoga as a spiritual path teaches you in the level 1, is that we are a blatantly spiritual practice, unashamedly a spiritual practice. And we are a path that teaches you to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, that teaches you to open to grace, that teaches you to love yourself and to radiate and align with the divine. And the more that we do that in our own practice, the more we bring light into the world. And that's what the world needs right now. There's people like you lighting up and stepping into your own lightness, your own spiritual practice, and taking it to the next level. If you want some wonderful teachers on this journey, we have Christine Dufresne and Sarah Powell, both experienced, certified Anusara yoga teachers, and myself, guiding you on this path that will illuminate you and transform you in ways that you can't even imagine. But I can promise you that you will come to know yourself on a whole new level, because yoga is a science that breaks it all down. Yes, it's hard because it's a whole different way of seeing the world. It's a whole different way of thinking, but it breaks it all down, and you just follow the path step by step, and heck, voila, one day you'll get there. I really, really want you to join me on this journey of yoga as a spiritual path next year. We start May 2025. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be astounding. Click the link in the bio and join us for your personal transformation and take your life to the next level. Namaste.